This is the story of a Philadelphia community that has decided to work together to improve the education of its youth. In 2003, when it was announced that West Philadelphia High School would get a new building, students from the West chapter of the Philadelphia Student Union decided to use it as the opportunity to get more than just a shiny new building. They hoped there would be a chance to improve the way education happens in the school as well.
Once I joined the student union, I heard about the things that were going on at West Philadelphia High School. And me, elementary school, middle school, part of high school, I always had a good education. So once I got here, I automatically seen like the difference, and I noticed the difference in the way I was being taught. So once I heard about the student union, I was just like, you know, wow.
We believe that changing the school, that turning around the school is part of a whole comprehensive plan around how to improve our neighborhood in all kinds of ways. When I just graduated from high school, I got involved with a group of people. We came up with the idea of the Philadelphia Student Union, an organization that would bring students together to try to make changes in their schools.
These students began doing research about effective high school models and began making connections with parents, teachers, and community groups.
I've had the opportunity to work with a lot of young people, and I've seen a lot of changes at West. I've seen some good, some bad, but when it boils down to it, it's all about the children.
With the support of the William Penn Foundation, they invited Concordia LLC to conduct a community planning process engaging more than 180 community residents, students, parents, and teachers in a 7-month discussion to shape the new West Philadelphia High School. The first community planning meeting was held in June of 2005.
I'm very impressed with their ability to come in and build bridges and try to really draw people into the process from the community that through working together could, you know, make this whole prospect of a new school become reality.
And I think by their suggestions, by the community suggestions, parents, teachers, administration, if we all come together and see what's doable, then there's no reason why you can't do things.
Throughout the process, the steering committee shaped a common vision for the future of their high school. They envisioned a new West Philadelphia High School deeply connected with its community, respectful of its past, and committed to educational excellence. They saw the school composed of small learning communities coexisting in a campus setting that allows students to maintain expansive school programs while creating a more personalized, safe, and harmonious learning environment. They envisioned a school that encourages its students to learn through internships and to exercise democracy by participating in its government.
I can remember a few years ago when I used to teach an introduction to business class, and I asked the kids, well, what is your ideal school? And they had to get together in groups, and they came up with a school motto, and they came up with the school layout, and they came up with the colors, and they came up with the things that they would have in their school. And one of the groups said that they would take the 4th floor of West Philadelphia High School and turn it into apartments. And I asked them why, and they said because, well, for those students who didn't have a home to stay in, at least they'd be able to stay in school.
My dream school environment is a school unlike West that's, you know, doesn't look like a big factory, but is a school where people will go and want to go to West. A school where there's no violence, there's no metal detectors. Student doesn't have to feel like every time they're going to school, they're walking into, you know, a cell. Everyone is free. People, you know, are embracing people. Teachers are on, you know, a first name basis with all their students. Their principal know, you know, every student by name. Kids are not only being prepared for testing, but prepared to cope with the outside world once they graduate, and prepared for, you know, college and having college prep classes, and students wanting to be in, you know, AP classes and embracing AP classes and not being scared of it. Students, you know, want to graduate, and students want to just embrace the whole outside world and be ready for it. That's what I really envision West Philadelphia High School becoming.
I think that small schools can have a really profound effect if they're handled well. A lot of the research talks about when you have smaller schools, it enables the staff to make more connections with the kids. A lot of the research looking at kids dropping out of school is saying that these kids are feeling disengaged. They're not feeling a part of the educational program or connected to a lot of adults in the school. When you have a smaller school, it makes it easier to do that. So the idea, first of all, just getting more kids to actually, enjoy school and to actually graduate is something that will have a profound effect on the immediate community. And then long term, again, people who have higher skill sets really, what does that mean to community? And I'm also a big believer in the idea of hope. And I think that when kids are in a big school where very few people are actually graduating, that the level of hope diminishes and the level of frustration increases. And so trying to make that cultural shift in the school and in the surrounding community, schools they're the center of the community. When they're not functioning well, it makes it hard for the community to function well.
The fact that we've decided on themes, I think, is very, very important. And it's not to say that if I go into auto, that later on I might decide, okay, I want to go into business. Because we'll all be teaching the same information kind of things. I mean, they'll all get the algebra and they'll get the history and they'll get the English classes. But the focus or the theme is to give students a little bit extra. Well, back in the day, we used to call those electives. Okay, I want to learn to type, so I'm going to take a typing class. I want to learn art design, so I'm going to take some art classes. And basically, that's all it is. You're going to get all of the same things that you're going to need to go into higher education and more. It's that extra part of it, I think, that's important.
The community's vision for the new West Philadelphia High School was compiled in a report containing recommendations grouped under 5 categories, namely education program, school governance, administration, supportive academic opportunity, community connections, and money-saving small school strategies.
I think a number of the aspects of the recommendations are very promising. The opportunity to have a different way that the school is administered. We're proposing a new way of governing the school, a way of governing the school that takes some of the red tape and decision making that goes on downtown at the school district, away from the schools, and puts it in the hands of the community working in partnership with the local school team as well as the district. We all have a role to play in that. And I think that's one of the key aspects that we're looking to achieve. I've answered the call. There are other members of the community that are ready and willing. We may not have degrees and a whole lot of fancy accomplishments in terms of scholarship, but we care about young people. And we're willing to work to do whatever we can to assist in the process of education. So the chance to share decisions about who the principal will be, decisions about how the curriculum will look, decisions about how the money is spent in the school and on what. These kinds of things rightfully belong in the hands of committed community members working along with professionals inside the school.
This vision is complemented by recommendations regarding the site for the new school and school layouts, which was created at a community design charrette.
One of the things we realized is that we didn't want to just design the school ourselves. That a top-down model wasn't going to work. It wasn't going to work for the school district to come and say, this is what your new school is going to be, and it wasn't going to work for us. We needed to have a process that would engage everybody, where everybody could come together and come up with a common vision of what we wanted our new school to be.
The sustainability circuit was formed by the steering committee members after the planning report was released with the objective of advocating for the implementation of the recommendations and keeping the community involved in the process.
I think what we would like to see this school be 10 years from now when we get the new school is a place that's a center for the community, where folks from the community are coming in and out, and it's open evenings, and there's lots of different projects and programs going on here, that 90 to 100% of the students are graduating and going on to college or finding the kind of jobs that they want, but that the students who go here are becoming lifelong learners. They're becoming people who are really interested in things and have some skills to go out and learn the things that they're interested in. and that they're people who are committed to this community, that when they go on to college, that they come back to West Philadelphia and do things to help improve our community and make it stronger.
The West Philadelphia students have put a lot of hard work and time into the Small Schools campaign, and together with the West Philadelphia community into the reconfiguration of the new West Philadelphia High School, students and community expect to be a part of all the important decisions the school district is making in the reconfiguration of its school.
10 years from now, I see people embracing West Philadelphia High School instead of people trying to run away from it. I see, the community integrated into the school integrating community. We're helping each other, like we being each other's backbones. And that's what I see. I see the graduation rate higher, kids wanting to go to college and graduate from 4-year colleges. West Philadelphia High School students coming back saying, that they appreciate, what people did and the school that it became and not the school that it used to be. And people coming back and giving back to the school that used to be here.